Hey guys, so as promised, I'm back to do a miniature book haul. I only have, what, one, two, three, four books to show you. I'm going to start off by saying, before I show you what books I got, that I'm going to be putting all of the books as well as the authors for them in the description box because there's like at least one author's name that I can't pronounce. So, and I don't want to butcher it really horribly, so I'm only going to say his first name because I can pronounce his first name, obviously. Um, but yeah, so I'm going to put the names of the books and the authors in the description box. But the first book I got, I talked about in my last review video, which is book 2 to the Mortal Instruments series, and it's called City of Ashes, and they are by Cassandra Clare. I loved City of Bones so much that I absolutely had to go pick up the next book. There is, well, I don't know. I'm a little confused on this series, actually, because it's supposed to be a trilogy, but she's writing a fourth book, a fourth installment for it. So I don't know if that's going to be a separate trilogy, but goes with this one, or if it's going to be all in one. I'm confused on that. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that, but yeah, I'll go ahead and read you guys the back really quick. And it just says, Clary Frey just wishes that her life would go back to normal. But what's normal when you're a demon-slaying shadow hunter? Your mother is in a magically induced coma, and you can suddenly see downworlders like werewolves, vampires, and fairies. Clary would love to spend more time with her best friend Simon, but the shadow hunters won't let her go, especially her handsome, infuriating newfound brother Jace. And Clary's only chance to help her mother is to track down rogue shadow hunter Valentine, who is probably insane, certainly evil, and also her father. When the second of the mortal instruments is stolen, the terrifying Inquisitor suspects Jace. Could Jace really be willing to betray everything he believes in to help their father? This one is roughly, well, I'll tell you in just a moment, as soon as I can get past the sneak peek into the third book. 453 pages. So, I'm really excited to get this one started. And, yeah, I don't know. Really, really excited. So, I'm hoping, because I love the first one so much, I'm hoping the second one doesn't disappoint me. I want to keep on the good feeling in these books that I got from the first one, and I'm hoping it'll continue in the second one and be just as good, if not better. So, yeah, picked that one up. The next two that I picked up is also to a series. I got the first book and second book to it. And there's been a lot of hype about these. Well, I know there's been a lot of hype about the movies, but I'm not sure about the books, actually, because I didn't really look for the book reviews, but I did look at, like, clips and stuff from the movies. But the first one's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and they're by, I believe it's pronounced Stieg or Stieg. I can't pronounce the first name, but Larsson. So this is the first one I decided to pick up. I like that cover. And it says, which I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce half these names right, and I guarantee you I probably won't, so don't mind if I butcher them. But it says, Harriet Vanger, scion of one of Sweden's wealthiest families, disappeared over 40 years ago. All these years later, her aged uncle continues to seek the truth. He hires Michael Lindqvist, I believe is how you pronounce it, a crusading journalist recently trapped by a libel conviction, to investigate. He is aided by the pierced and tattooed punk prodigy Lisbeth Salander. Together they tap into the vein of unfathomable inquisitivity and astonishing corruption. I normally don't read books like this, but it sounds really good, so I picked it up. And this one is see, 644 pages. So that's that one. And then also from him is the sequel to this one, and it's The Girl Who Played with Fire, which is right here. And that one says, crusading publisher Michael Lindqvist has decided to run an explosive expose of a wide-ranging sex trafficking operation. Just before the piece is published, 2 people were brutally murdered. The fingerprints on the murder weapon belonged to his friend, the troubled hacker genius Lisbeth Salander. Lindqvist, convinced of Salander's innocence, plunges into an investigation. Meanwhile, Lisbeth herself is drawn into a murderous game of cat and mouse and is forced to face her dark past. So, and I was gonna pick up the 3rd book to this one as well, because it's out, but I decided I better just stick with the first 2, just to see if I even like them. But this one is 724 pages. So, they're a little bit longer than most of the books that I have been reading lately. I think the longest book I read last was, like, I don't know, close to 370 to 400 pages or so. Actually, yeah, I think so. But, yeah, I'm excited to read them. If you guys have read either of these, let me know how they were, because, I don't know, let me know what you thought of them, because I'm excited to read them, but I don't really know of anybody who's read them yet. And, like, out of all of my friends who are book lovers, like I am, I've asked them if they've read them, because they buy books a lot too, and a lot of them haven't even heard of them, so I don't know if they're any good. But, they sound good to me, and like I said, normally I don't read books that deal with murder and, like, a murder mystery type. Sorry, I kicked my computer. Normally I don't read books that deal with a murder mystery type atmosphere, but I'm more into fantasy than anything. But, I don't know, they sounded really good, so I'm gonna give them a shot. And then the last book I got is another book, I believe, from Sweden. I believe. Yeah. Well, the author's Swedish anyways. But, it's called Let Me In. And this is the one I'm only going to say his first name. And his first name is John. And I'm not going to say the rest of his name because I will butcher it so bad that it's not even funny. I like this cover too. It's kind of pretty. It's like you see the snow in the trees, and I don't know, I like it. And this one says, Let Me In is the terrifying yet moving tale of 2 lonely adolescents who stand together against the world. It begins with the horrific discovery of the body of a teenage boy emptied of blood. Our 12-year-old hero is personally hoping that revenge has come at long last. Revenge for all the bad things the bullies at school do to him day after day. While he is fascinated by the murder, it is not the most important thing in his life. A new girl has moved in next door, a girl who has never seen a Rubik's Cube before, but who can solve it at once. They become friends, then something more, but there is something wrong with her, something odd, and she only comes out at night. So that's what that one says. And this one is 471 pages long. So, I don't know. I'm really, really excited to read it. It kind of sounds to me like it could be a vampire book. I'm not sure if it is one. I'm assuming it is a vampire book because it has, like, where it puts on the back, like, praises from other authors and from magazines and stuff. And it says, right, the very first one says, a must for any vampire fan. So, and my phone's ringing. So, anyways, it says it's a must for any vampire fan. So, I don't know. I think it's a vampire book. But yeah, so those are the 4 books that I got. And ignore the phone ringing, I apologize. But those are the 4 books that I got. And yeah, that was my mini book haul. So let me know if you guys have heard of any of them and what you guys thought. So, as always, I will talk to you guys later. And I hope you guys have a good week. Because I probably won't be back on here till probably sometime in February. I'm also going to say real quick, the next book that I'm doing a review for is going to be for Marked. So that'll be my next book that I'm doing. So, bye guys.